You've been lied to. From the moment you learned to speak, society hammered one message into your skull: honesty is the best policy. Tell the truth. Be authentic. The truth will set you free. But look around. Who actually wins in this world? Is it the honest employee who admits their mistakes in meetings, or the colleague who carefully controls what information reaches their boss? Is it the transparent friend who shares every insecurity and fear, or the mysterious one that everyone wants to get closer to? Is it the authentic person broadcasting their struggles on social media, or the strategist who reveals nothing useful while collecting everyone else's confessions? You already know the answer, because deep down you've watched it happen. You've been honest and you've been destroyed by it. You revealed your salary in a negotiation and got low-balled. You shared your fears with someone who later weaponized them against you. You confessed past mistakes that resurfaced years later to ruin an opportunity. Here's what they don't tell you. Every truth you reveal is power. You surrender. Every confession is ammunition you hand to potential enemies. Every authentic moment is intelligence you volunteer to those who will use it when it benefits them. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this 5 centuries ago. He never praised honesty. He praised the appearance of honesty. He knew that truth is tactical, not moral. That transparency is suicide in a world built on strategic deception. The masters of power, politicians, executives, social elites, they understand something the rest of society refuses to admit. Honesty is a tool, not a virtue. It's a weapon to be wielded with precision, not a principle to worship blindly. In this video, I'm going to expose the 5 hidden costs of honesty that keep you weak, predictable, and exploitable. These aren't feel-good lessons. These are brutal truths about how information asymmetry controls every interaction you ever have. By the end, you'll understand why amateurs confess and masters calculate, why transparency is a trap and strategic opacity is armor, why the people who win aren't the most honest, they're the most deliberate about what they reveal. If you're ready to stop being exploited by your own honesty, type this in the comments: I weaponize truth, I don't worship it. Chapter 1. The Law of Exposed Cards. Picture a poker game. You're holding a decent hand, not perfect, but workable. The person across from you is calculating, watching, waiting, and then you do something unthinkable. You flip your cards face up on the table and announce exactly what you're holding. That's what honesty in negotiations looks like, and it's how amateurs lose before the game even begins. The first hidden cost of honesty is this: every time you reveal the truth about your position, your limits, or your desperation, you set a ceiling on what you can achieve. You show your hand, and once your cards are visible, the negotiation is over. You've already lost. Here's what amateurs do. They walk into a salary negotiation, and when asked about their current compensation, they answer honestly. I'm making 60,000 now, and I'd really love to get to 70. They think transparency builds trust. They think honesty shows good faith. What actually happens? The employer now knows exactly how little they can offer. They'll split the difference, maybe 65,000, and frame it as generous. The amateur revealed their flaw. They capped their own potential. They negotiated against themselves before the other side even made an offer. Now watch what masters do. Masters enter the same negotiation with information lockdown. When asked about their current salary, they deflect. I'm focused on the value I bring to this role and the market rate for someone with my skill set. When pressed, they anchor high. Based on my research and comparable positions, I'm targeting the 85 to 95,000 range. Notice what didn't happen: no confession of their current salary, no revelation of their minimum acceptable offer, no signal of desperation or need. The employer is forced to bid against uncertainty, and uncertainty always inflates value. This is information asymmetry. The person with more hidden cards controls the frame. The person who reveals everything becomes predictable, manipulable, and ultimately powerless. The psychological principle at work here is anchoring. The first number thrown out in any negotiation becomes the gravitational center around which all other numbers orbit. When you honestly reveal your current position, you anchor low. When you withhold and force them to guess, you anchor high, or you force them to reveal their budget first, giving you the ultimate advantage. But this extends far beyond salary negotiations. The romantic partner who confesses, "I could never leave you, I need you too much." They've just told the other person they can be treated poorly without consequence. The entrepreneur who honestly reveals, "We need this deal to survive." They've just invited the investor to lowball them. The employee who admits, "I'm not getting other offers," they've just ensured they'll never see a retention raise. Masters understand something crucial. The game isn't won by having the best hand. It's won by controlling what information reaches the table. Your actual cards are irrelevant if no one knows what you're holding. Stop confessing your position. Stop revealing your limits. Stop showing your hand first. Start controlling information like the strategic asset it is. Now type this affirmation into the comments. I never show my hand first. Chapter 2. The Law of Strategic Confession. There's a strange thing that happens when someone confesses something personal to you. Your guard drops. You feel trusted. You think, they're being vulnerable with me. They must be genuine. And in that moment of manufactured intimacy, you've been hooked. Because here's what amateurs don't understand about confession. Masters don't confess to cleanse guilt. They confess to manipulate. The second hidden cost of honesty is that while you're confessing to feel authentic, others are using confession as a weapon. They reveal exactly what they want you to see, creating false intimacy while hiding their actual weaknesses. Watch how amateurs confess. They overshare early and indiscriminately. On a first date, they unload childhood trauma. In a job interview, they list every insecurity and weakness under the guise of self-awareness. With new friends, they immediately deep dive into every struggle, fear, and failure. They think this is authenticity. They think this is building real connection. What's actually happening? They're broadcasting weakness without strategy. They're confessing for emotional relief, to feel unburdened, to appear real, to satisfy their own need for validation. And the result? They're seen as damaged goods, needy, unstable, too much, too soon. The other person doesn't feel closer. They feel uncomfortable and trapped by forced intimacy they never asked for. Now observe how masters use confession. A master carefully selects one strategic vulnerability to reveal at a calculated moment, not their deepest fear, not their actual weakness, but something that seems authentic while serving a specific purpose. Example, a new manager confesses to their team, "I'll be honest, I struggled with delegation early in my career. I wanted to control everything. But I learned that great leaders build great teams by trusting them." What just happened? The manager revealed a past weakness that actually signals strength now. They framed it as growth. They created perceived vulnerability while demonstrating they're self-aware, evolved, and, most importantly, they now trust this team. That confession wasn't authentic catharsis. It was strategic theater. The psychological principle here is the trust paradox. People trust those who appear vulnerable because vulnerability signals honesty. But masters exploit this by manufacturing strategic vulnerability that builds trust while concealing true weaknesses. Here's the distinction amateurs miss. Confession creates intimacy, but it should be a calculated exchange, not an emotional purge. When you confess out of guilt, shame, or the need to be authentic, you're giving away power for nothing. You get temporary emotional relief. They get permanent intelligence on your weaknesses. When you confess strategically, you reveal what makes you appear human and trustworthy without exposing actual vulnerabilities. You engineer the appearance of authenticity while maintaining operational security on information that could destroy you. To start using this power as a strategic weapon, type this into the comments. I confess to manipulate, not to cleanse. Chapter 3. The Law of Voluntary Intel. Here's a thought experiment. Imagine you're planning to rob a bank. You're a professional. You scope out the location, study the security systems, map the guard rotations, identify the vulnerabilities. But then something incredible happens. The bank manager walks up to you and says, Hey, I'll just tell you everything. Our alarm system doesn't work on Tuesdays. The vault code is our founding year. Guard shift change is at 3 p.m. Our cameras have blind spots in the northwest corner. You wouldn't believe your luck. The target just volunteered everything you needed to destroy them. That's what you do every time you're authentically honest in casual conversation. You think you're building connection. You're actually conducting reconnaissance on yourself. The third hidden cost of honesty is this. People don't need to spy on you. You give them the complete blueprint of how to exploit you free of charge, wrapped in the language of sharing and opening up. Watch what amateurs volunteer in normal conversation. I'm terrible with confrontation. I just hate conflict. I really need this promotion. My rent went up. My dad never believed in me, so I always feel like I have to prove myself. I'm so bad with money, I can never save anything. I get really anxious when people raise their voices. They think this is authentic communication, building rapport, being real, what's actually happening. They're handing over their psychological profile to everyone in earshot, and some percentage of those people, maybe not today, maybe not this year, but eventually will use that information when it serves them. Fast forward 6 months. That co-worker you confided in about hating confrontation. They now use aggressive tactics in every meeting with you, knowing you'll fold. The promotion you desperately needed? They leverage that desperation to extract free overtime. The childhood wound you revealed? It gets whispered about as daddy issues when you're up for leadership. This is the intelligence leak. Every honest statement about your fears, weaknesses, goals, or triggers is an attack vector. A point of vulnerability that intelligent operators will file away and exploit when conditions are right. The master understands that every interaction is potential intelligence gathering for both sides. So they volunteer nothing operationally useful. They're pleasant, engaging, they ask questions and listen actively, but they reveal nothing that creates an attack vector. When someone asks about their weaknesses, they deflect with humor or redirect to strengths. When someone probes their fears, they stay vague and surface level. When someone asks about their goals, they share generic aspirations, never specific targets that can be blocked. When someone wants to know their financial situation, they remain strategically ambiguous. This isn't about being cold or closed off. It's about understanding that in a world where information is power, volunteering your weaknesses is insane. You think you're building connection through vulnerable honesty. You're actually building a file on yourself that others will open when it's time to take you down. Stop being your own informant. Stop volunteering intelligence. Stop handing over your psychological profile to people who will inevitably have competing interests with you. Start treating your information like the fortress it needs to be. Now type this affirmation into the comments. I am my own fortress. Chapter 4. The Law of Forced Reciprocity. There's a social contract most people don't realize they're signing. It's invisible, unspoken, but brutally enforced. And it gets activated every time someone shares something personal with you. The contract says, I gave you my vulnerability, now you owe me yours. The fourth hidden cost of honesty is that excessive truth-telling doesn't create connection. It creates debt, and people hate debtors. Amateurs think radical honesty builds intimacy. What it actually builds is uncomfortable obligation. Picture a social gathering. You're at a party, networking event, or casual dinner. You meet someone new. And within the first 15 minutes, they're unloading their relationship problems, their therapy insights, their childhood wounds, their existential anxieties, their financial stress. You didn't ask for this. You just met them. But now you're trapped in an emotional transaction you never agreed to. Here's what just happened. They forced intimacy. They shared heavy, personal information. And now, according to the invisible rules of reciprocity, you're supposed to share something equally vulnerable back. If you don't, you seem cold, closed off, or judgmental. You've been taxed. They bill you for emotional labor without your consent. And what's your actual response? After they leave, you think, that person was intense. You feel drained. You avoid them at the next gathering. Because nobody wants to be around someone who weaponizes honesty to extract emotional reciprocity. The psychological principle here is reciprocity bias. When someone gives you something, even something you didn't want, like unwanted vulnerability, you feel obligated to give something back. It's hardwired into human social behavior, but masters understand this cuts both ways. When you overshare, you're not building connection. You're creating a social debt that makes people uncomfortable. You're forcing them to either reciprocate, which they resent, or reject you, which makes them feel guilty. Either way, you lose. Masters use a different approach. They understand that intimacy is earned gradually, not forced immediately. They share in measured doses. They read social cues. They match the vulnerability level of the relationship stage. Early connection, light, surface-level sharing. Mid-level relationship, moderate vulnerability, reciprocated. Deep, established trust. More significant sharing, but still strategic, never purging. The difference is consent and timing. The amateur forces, the master invites. The amateur dumps, the master drips. The amateur thinks silence is distance. The master knows restraint is respect. When you withhold initially, you become intriguing. When you share too much too soon, you become exhausting. When you let people gradually discover your depth, you become valuable. When you front-load all your complexity, you become overwhelming. This doesn't mean be emotionally unavailable. It means be strategically vulnerable. Share at a pace that builds genuine connection without creating resentment or obligation. To affirm your understanding, type this into the comments: I don't force intimacy, I earn it. Chapter 5. The Law of Permanent Records. Let me tell you about a concept that should terrify anyone who worships honesty: digital permanence. 20 years ago, if you said something stupid at a party, it lived in the memories of whoever was there. Memories fade, details blur, people forget. Today, that stupid thing you said was recorded on someone's phone, screenshot, shared, archived, searchable, permanent. And here's the fifth and most devastating hidden cost of honesty: your confessions never die. But your lies, those can be denied. The amateur believes their honest confessions stay in the moment. The master knows that in the digital age, every truth you reveal is a loaded gun sitting in someone's safe, waiting for the perfect moment to be fired at your head. Let's walk through how this plays out. Year 1. You're in a private Discord server, Slack channel, or group chat with people you trust. The conversation gets real. Someone asks a controversial question. You answer honestly. You admit a past mistake. You share a politically incorrect opinion. You confess something that, in that moment and context, feels safe to reveal. You think, we're all friends here. This is a private space. These people understand me. Year 5. You're running for a position, interviewing for a promotion, launching a business, building a public profile. And someone from that old group chat, now an enemy, competitor, or just someone who doesn't like you, still has the screenshots. They leak them. Your honest confession from 5 years ago, ripped from context, becomes the headline that destroys everything you built. And here's the kicker: because you admitted it honestly, you can't deny it. Truth is irrefutable. The screenshots are real. Your words are there, forever, in your own voice. This is the permanence problem. Lies can be denied. Truth cannot. That friend you're texting right now, you might have a falling out next year. That romantic partner you're DMing, they might become a bitter ex. That colleague you're joking with in Slack, they might become your competitor. That Discord server of real ones, it might dissolve, and someone keeps the archives. Context shifts. Relationships end, alliances crumble, but the screenshots remain. Masters understand this. They treat every digital communication like it will eventually become public. They never type anything they wouldn't want on a billboard. They assume every private message will be leaked. They speak and write with the knowledge that digital permanence is real and ruthless. This doesn't mean you can't communicate. It means you communicate with surgical precision. You never confess anything in writing that could be used against you later. You keep controversial opinions offline. You document carefully. You assume every word is being archived by someone who might eventually have reason to destroy you. The amateur thinks, but that was years ago. I've changed. That was a private conversation. The master knows. None of that matters. In the age of permanent records, your honest past is always one screenshot away from becoming your public present. The truth doesn't set you free. It creates a permanent record that will be weaponized when it's most convenient for your enemies. If you are ready to master strategic communication, type this into the comments. My words are chosen, not confessed. You've just learned the 5 hidden costs of honesty that keep you powerless: exposed cards, voluntary intel, forced reciprocity, strategic confession, permanent records. Every truth you confess is leverage you surrender. Here's what it comes down to: 2 paths, 2 futures. The pawn keeps confessing, keeps trusting, keeps believing that authenticity will protect them, and society applauds while quietly exploiting every weakness they revealed. The architect understands truth is tactical. They speak with purpose, they reveal strategically, they confess only when it serves them. Machiavelli never praised honesty, he praised the appearance of honesty. 500 years later, the game hasn't changed, just the battlefield. This isn't about becoming a pathological liar. It's about understanding that strategic honesty is how you protect yourself in a world where everyone is collecting data on you. Stop being the transparent fool everyone can read. Start being the strategic architect everyone respects but can't predict. If this video shattered the illusion that honesty equals strength, hit that like button. Subscribe for more forbidden Machiavellian truths that society doesn't want you to understand. And share this with someone who's been destroyed by their own honesty, someone who needs to learn that truth is tactical, not moral. Now drop this final affirmation in the comments to declare your commitment. I am the architect of my truth.